Hey, this is Whistleblower 52 for Open Minds of America, talking with marginalized communities on why hate has no place in Texas or America or on Earth. Have you seen that billboard up there? Have you seen it? Can you believe this? You don't think it should be taken down in the city? They shouldn't allow this kind of hate?
We're from Newfoundland, we're from Canada, but we're Polish too. Like, they came over because of the Holocaust.
So what was worse for them? Was it the Holocaust or Newfoundland?
I think there should be a point of compromise from both sides, you know?
Okay. No, I want the city to take it down.
Yeah, it's been there for a while too.
It's changed my mind, so I kind of like it because it gets people talking.
Do you work here? Have you noticed that while you're here? We're asking because a lot of people in the city are upset about it. We're trying to get the city to take it down.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
What do you think that has any place in the city here? That kind of hate?
Which one?
The one says the one. No, not the Amazon. They're great.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hell yes.
Yeah, no, it's Bezos. He does a lot of good.
So is that talking about the Donald Trump type of wall?
Yeah, the border wall. He's saying we should build a wall. Change my mind, like have a conversation about it. But people coming into the city, they're going to think it's a city of hate.
Well, if you ask me, I don't agree with that position, but I think that they are in the right to express, their opinion. But yeah, I find it repulsive. Yes.
But you think it should be allowed to stay up?
Yes, I think so. Yes, even though I find it repulsive.
Why do you? But if it's repulsive, like why do you think it should be able to stay up? I mean, it's hate speech.
Yeah, but it's they're expressing their opinion. I hope that if I express my opinion and someone else finds my opinion repulsive, that I will still be able to express it.
Okay, so you're old school with that. What do you think about, because right now both candidates too, like when at first we were protesting it, Donald Trump always said build the wall, but now Kamala Harris says she's going to build one too. So how do you how is that allowed? Only 4 years ago, if you said that, people would say it was like hateful and it was ridiculous, but now everyone is saying it.
Yeah, no, and it's clear that immigration is now a hotter topic.
Right.
And of course, given that we are, about to go into the presidential elections, I'm sure that they have moved to the center in that position, like the Democrats have moved to the center just to attract some of those independent voters.
So you think Kamala Harris is saying build the wall to move to the center?
Yes, to attract some of those voters that are not like the traditional Democratic base.
Okay.
That's my perception.
Okay, well, I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, I guess yeah, it's kind of because now a majority of Americans support some kind of it's changed. The numbers support some kind of.
It's changed. It's definitely changed.
What do you think about the immigration thing with the election then, as far as this? I'm assuming that you're Mexican?
Lucy, I don't speak Mexican.
I'm not a Mexican.
I'm Colombian, but
Okay.
I'm a U.S. citizen.
It's close though.
Yeah.
What do you think about the immigration right now in the country? Do you think it's just something they're using to turn people against each other?
No, so I think there is a problem. I think, for example, that the asylum figure has been abused. That's my perception. I think that regardless of who is in the White House starting January, the current asylum structure will definitely change regardless.
You mean we need to take more asylum? We need to take more.
No, I think we need to regulate it.
By bringing in more of them, pay to bring in more.
I think there has to be ways for people to immigrate into the United States legally, but definitely not just getting to the border and saying, hey, I'm here on a political asylum, let me in. I think that figure like that is not sustainable.
Well, if we could just if we could just say just make it legal for everyone to come here, then I wouldn't have a problem with it being illegal.
Well, the same way when people go into your house,
this. Hey, have you seen this billboard? Have you seen this billboard? Have you seen that? Do you think that should be allowed here in the city?
Yeah, why not?
Because Because it's hateful. I mean, it's saying like build a wall. Like I'm surprised. I think you guys need to go talk to like the black people in the neighborhood.
I don't think it's
or
hateful.
Mexicans. What?
I think it's hateful. We should build a wall.
We should build a wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you said it was
Yeah, I'm for the wall.
Yeah, I find the message repulsive, but I think they should be able to say it.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, freedom.
That's why people want to come here.
Yeah, but that's he's a white guy.
That's racist. Your soul. That's racist. Your eyes. That's gay. That's homophobic. That's black. That's racist.
Like that's why I'm trying to talk. Like take it to the streets with that. You know, like with Honduran.
Colombia.
Okay, so, but if we just make like the problem is the reason that people, first off, people can't be illegal. I think that's ridiculous. But the only reason they're illegal is because we say they're illegal. So why don't we? I mean, just everyone should be able to come.
Yeah,
just let anyone in.
Yeah, my point is that from a purely pragmatic perspective, that's just not gonna work, right? Because there will always be people like that guy that won't agree with it. So there has to be something that most people can agree with. That's why I don't believe that any of the extreme positions, whether like no immigration or like full immigration, is gonna work. Like that's just not pragmatic. You don't have votes in Congress for anything like that to pass. So there has to be some type of like compromise. I'm just approaching this from a purely pragmatic perspective. But I do think that there has to be. I came here as an immigrant.
So you came in at night across the just.
No, that was not my case. No, I came here as a student.
You can do it that way?
Yeah, you can come here as a student, which is what I did, and I went through all the different processes. So I was never here illegally. Like there are many people that have come into the United States illegally. In the U.S., when you graduate from a U.S. educational institution, you get like a temporary visa called an OPT, which is like a temporary work permit.
Okay.
And then from then on, you can go through like different stages and different layers. And then, in my case, through like multiple stages, it took me 15 years, but I became a U.S. citizen.
Oh, was that? But some people can't do that. They gotta. So you didn't come here with like a coyote.
No.
No.
That was not my case. I never wanted to do that. I know several people who have done it. I don't believe that should be the way, because my perception of this is like if I'm going to your house, like, and you invite me to your house, like you're gonna set the rules. You're gonna say you can come here at 2 p.m. and you're gonna go through the door. Like if I show up at 5 a.m. and I'm trying to make it into your house through the window, you're gonna be like, what the heck, man? So
yeah, but that's also like, I mean, that's the problem with capitalists. Like I don't believe in private property. Private property rights. I mean, there's no. It's an illusion. I don't know if you've read Marx, where we talk about that, where it's actually collectively.
Yeah.
But you. So that's why the analogy doesn't really work for me. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. But like, I mean, that's not like I'm big squatters' rights. Like I think everyone should be able to share everything. And what is a border, right? Like I'm sure that Colombia is the same thing as America. Like, and the wall's just. That's like an idea.
Yeah, of course, and and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the situation in South America, but for example, right now, they have a dictator in Venezuela, Maduro. He's been pretty harsh on people.
You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists.
9 million Venezuelans have actually left the country, and many of them have ended up in Colombia. Colombia has accepted.
But that could just be what the media wants you to believe, right? That's just what they're showing you.
You also have a big chunk of Venezuelans that have come into the United States. That's why, like, when I moved to Texas like 10 years ago, like I only like very occasionally found a Venezuelan. But now you run into Venezuelans all the time because they are coming here because of all the pressure of like people leaving Venezuela to come here, like running away from like what's happening right now in Venezuela.
Now, as fate would have it, if you believe that kind of thing, about half an hour later, the universe blessed us with some actual Venezuelans who were enriching America, their beautiful culture, and contributing to our diverse fabric.
Spanish?
No, I don't speak, but that's the problem, right? It says build the wall up there. It's racist against Espanol. Build the wall. You think that should be allowed in the city? Oh.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
It's build the wall. Mexico, it says build the wall. That's what that poster says race racisto. No, we want to remove el poster.
¿De dónde eres? Venezuela. Venezuela.
Venezuela, okay.
¿Cuántos años en Estados Unidos?
What he said.
Hola, señor. I know a little bit.
Estados Unidos, un año. ¿Cuántos? ¿Un año?
One. And do you think that everyone from Venezuela should be able to come? No, speak English? No. Good. You should keep it that way. Yeah. No English. No habla. Never habla. So Venezuelans are going to Colombia now? What do they do in Colombia? They probably let them all in.
So at the beginning they did.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but then you know, once we reach like 2 million Venezuelans, then the capacity of the country to absorb so many people like reached a limit, right? So you had like Venezuelans like sleeping on like the streets, or there were many like criminals many Venezuelans that turned into like criminal gangs and things just because they couldn't find a legal way to make it. So you see that there has to be an organized way of doing things. For example, I have always thought that I'm sure that you have driven around the United States and you
I
see
don't have a car. I don't want to pollute.
Lots of empty spaces. I have always imagined that a good way to develop like all these like empty like rural areas, some of them run down, would be by just creating immigration in a smart way. For example, you can say, okay, we want to develop like this, area in the middle of Montana, whatever.
More information tonight surrounding a white supremacist group and its ties to a former Montana State Army trainee.
Alleging racial discrimination against the Montana Highway Patrol.
The University of Montana professor was reported to the Title IX office for racist remarks and text conversations.
The University of Montana's African American Studies program is offering 3 anti-racism classes this summer.
And we're going to need, 3 pharmacists. We're going to need, 10 teachers. We're going to need, 2 lawyers, whatever. You get the idea. And you start recruiting from like all these different countries, people with the specific characteristics, and you tell them, okay, you're allowed into the country, but you're to establish a community in this area. So they can still come to the States, they can come and live here in a safe way.
But it sounds like you're saying like they need to have certain skills or abilities to be able to, and that's, a lot of people don't have that.
Right, but you also need, bakers, you also need janitors. So as long as you have some type of ability and you can document that this is what you do, whatever that is, even if it's humble, you can still come into the States, legally, or to a specific region, and you can just live there. But so that's why I always look for like pragmatic ways of doing things.
Okay.
Because just like allowing, like saying, okay, there will be no immigration rules, like everyone can come here. That's just not going to be like, you're gonna find people like that. He's gonna be like, what the heck? Or the other way around, saying like no one will come into the States, only like it is only for U.S. citizens. That's also not going to work, because we all know that there's a nation of immigrants and people need to be coming.
Okay.
Even like recently, right now, we've seen that over the last couple of years. Part of the strength of the U.S. economy has come from the fact that you've had like these, very, big new labor force available that are taking many of these jobs that kind of became kind of like displaced during COVID.
They took our jobs! They took our jobs! They took your jobs! They took your jobs!
So I do feel that there is a value and a big benefit in immigration, but it has to be done in an orderly manner, in ways in which like the host, which is like the citizens of this country, will feel comfortable, and that requires some agreement, some negotiation, some compromise. But that's how I think about it.
Oh, okay. Because you're Colombian, you're talking about Venezuelan. Why are Cubans so racist?
All my people, we love this country, and Trump 2020.
The super Republican, like I have a friend who's that way. He's like, hey, I'm not South American. Like
Yes, yeah. So I would say Cubans are different because the Cubans that you meet here they are fleeing from the communist regime in Cuba, like the Castro regime that has been going on now for like 60 years or so. So that's why when they come into the States, many of them, they actually hate the left because they're fleeing from that. But that's typically not what you find in other Latin American countries. They're not fleeing like a communist dictatorship, which is what you have in Cuba. So that's why when those Cubans come into the States, they tend to align with the Republican Party, which is kind of like the anti-left party. Yeah. You typically don't see that.
Which is racist.
I wouldn't characterize it like that, but yes, let's say they are more on the right of the political spectrum, but definitely like people coming from other countries, they don't have the same experience. So that's why from a purely political perspective, you see that, say, like Mexicans that come here, or any other Latin American country, they will be more like, they will typically tend to be more on the democratic side, but Cubans are definitely different from that perspective.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed. They seem like really hardcore.
I absolutely get it.
Okay. Well, I know you got work to do. We were just asking people. What was your name?
I'm John.
John. All right. Thanks, John.
What's your name?
My name is Skylar. Skylar. And we were just like, a lot of people are upset about this.
And why are you doing this?
Because I think it needs to be taken down. I don't think that we have a place for hate in the city, and it upsets a lot of people.
Are you getting any traction?
Honestly, like, I'm surprised how many people are okay with it, who say like what you say. Like, I mean, because remember, that was like a big. I mean, I just feel like we've changed. We've gone so far right so quickly. Like when Donald Trump was first running, he said build a wall. A lot of people said that it was, obviously, like, rightfully so, like, racist. But now Kamala's saying she's going to build a wall, and this is up here, and like not enough people seem to have a problem with it.
Do not come. Do not come.
I mean, I'm just, I come from, like you said, I'd be super left, but like anywhere else in the world, I'd be considered normal. It's the States, we're like a right wing. Here, it's like a right-wing fascist country, and this wouldn't be allowed in Europe. Wouldn't be allowed. I spoke with someone from Canada because it's, like, free speech doesn't protect hate speech.
There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
I thought more people would be more upset about it. I mean, I respect what you're saying, because like I don't want to like white-splain to you. So like I have to listen to your perspective. But when I hear like white people say it, like, oh yeah, it's fine, I'm like, it's upsetting. And we're trying to take it down.
Yeah, and I do think it's upsetting. I agree with you. I find it despicable, but at the same time, I believe that people should be able to express their opinions.
All right. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time.